I gave a promise, and that promise turned me into a monster. When my father lay dying, I knelt beside him and swore a sacred oath. I vowed that I would never become the cruel and heartless man he was. I promised myself, the gods, and my people that I would rule with justice, mercy, and kindness, no matter how heavy the crown would become. I swore I would protect the weak, forgive the guilty, and never let power corrupt my soul the way it had corrupted his. When I took the throne, the people cheered louder than I had ever heard. They called me the light of the realm. I forgave old debts, lowered taxes, opened the granaries during famine, and listened to the voices of the common folk. For the first time in decades, they looked at their Lord without fear. Children ran up to me in the villages. Elders blessed me. I felt pure. I felt alive. I truly believed I was keeping my sacred promise. Those were the happiest days of my life. But the world does not reward mercy for long. Rebellions began to rise in the outer provinces. Neighboring lords plotted against me. My advisors whispered that softness would be seen as weakness. At first I resisted with all my strength. I believed that kindness could change hearts. But after another village burned in revolt and innocent families died in the flames, I gave my first harsh order. Make an example, I said. I told myself it was necessary, that I was protecting the greater good. Each time I crossed a line, I repeated my oath like a desperate prayer. I am not my father. I am doing this for the people. But the orders became easier with time. The executions more frequent. The villages that resisted were burned to the ground. I justified every drop of blood by saying it was for peace, for stability, for the safety of the realm. My closest friend and advisor, Sir Kale, watched me change with growing horror. He begged me to stop. He said I was becoming the very thing I once swore to destroy. He even tried to organize a quiet resistance to bring me back to reason. When I discovered his involvement, I felt betrayed. In my anger and fear, I gave the order I never thought I would give. I ordered his execution. I stood on the balcony and watched as they took him away. He looked at me one last time, not with hatred, but with sadness and pity. That look broke something inside me that never healed. The next morning, when they brought me his sword, I finally understood what I had done. I had killed the only man who had the courage to tell me the truth. I had killed my brother in all but blood. I had become worse than my father, because my father was cruel without pretending to be good, while I was cruel while still calling myself just. I had kept my promise to never become my father, and in doing so, I had become something far more terrifying. Now I sit alone in this empty hall, surrounded by silence and ghosts. Every decision I made in the name of justice. Every life I took believing it was necessary. And yet here I am, alone, hollow, and hated by the very people I swore to protect. The most dangerous monster is not the one who knows he is evil. The most dangerous monster is the one who is absolutely convinced he is doing the right thing. That is the true and terrible price of a promise. I carry this curse with me every single day. Every breath feels like a betrayal. Every sunrise reminds me of what I lost because I chose to be merciful. I look at my hands and still see the blood that will never wash away. I hear the voices of the dead in the wind. I see the fear in the eyes of those who once loved me. Some lessons are not taught by victory. They are carved into your soul by the people you destroy in the name of good. And some curses are born from the purest and gentlest of intentions. If you are watching this, take this warning with you. Be very careful what you swear to become. The road to hell is not paved with evil intentions. It is paved with good ones and the unshakable belief that you are doing the right thing. Look at your own life. What promises have you made to yourself? What lines have you already crossed while telling yourself it was for the greater good? I once believed I was the hero of my own story. Now I know I was the villain, and the worst part is, I never saw it coming.